Hi, pretty honeybee. I ain't gonna fuss. Hi, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. So, Pretty Honeybee is the $15,000 winner we were just talking about. That owns up in Virginia. I'm tired of a lot of y'all. You hear me? Don't be no. Hey, Pretty Honeybee. So she thinks of us from time to time. She's actually on our blackwomeningrants.com website holding her $15,000 check that she won 90 days out of the mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com. So see, they come and they get what they need, and then they get that money, and that money get good. Then they come home eventually. So I be right here standing with you, Troy. Hi, Pretty Honeybee. Right, someone takes about. I love it. And her story is phenomenal. Like, she came into the mentorship. She's like, I don't have a job. I don't have money. I don't know where that money came from. It magically appeared. She joined us in the mentorship. 90 days later, she was on stage pitching her business for the first time. And in 5 minutes she did a 5-minute pitch, and shortly following won second place, which was $15,000, and then came back on the live and told us all about it. Pretty Honeybee, you want to come on the live and catch us up, girl? She said, "Hair standing on top of my head, my commercial kitchen opens in 2 months." And it's so exciting. So it is very much possible. For those of you who are like, how long does it take to win a grant? I tell the ladies that join me in my mentorship, give yourself 90 days. And we talk so much about Pretty Honeybee because she, in 90 days, was on that stage pitching her business, taking that picture, that big old check with $15,000. Okay? Could anyone else here use the extra 15K like Pretty Honeybee? Let me know. We have we talked to you since, Pretty Honeybee? I think we have. We also had Dawn. She's Peaches here on TikTok. She won $9,500 for her business recently. She's in Detroit, and she owns a barbecue restaurant, and so she was able to win a grant and fund her new refrigerator freezer combo. She said she bought her some ribs and some brisket and some pantry items. Okay, Pretty Honeybee says she can join us for 7 minutes. Let's take this 7 minutes and chat real quick.
There we go. Hey, Dr. AJ.
How are you?
I am well. Oh my God, this has just been an incredible journey, but I am fine. It has, when I tell you, it stretches your brain. Opening your business stretches your brain to new lengths. So I've honestly been all tied up into that. But yeah, I've been well. How about you all?
All is well. Catch us up. We don't get to see your face as much anymore. No, I'm being funny, but catch us up. What you been up to since you won your small business pitch competition, or tell us kind of what you remember from that up to now, what you've been up to.
So since I've won my small business grant, I have been in numerous meetings with the business development department here in my city. I have a business consultant, so we do a lot of meetings, as well as my new partnership that I just kind of landed last Friday. So what happened is that we have a local food bank here that has an underutilized kitchen. It's like everything is in there like brand new, and they haven't used it, and they were looking for someone to kind of like come in and basically do the same thing that I'm doing. They just didn't want to do it. So it kind of everything was just kind of like divinely aligned. So I'm going to be having my business through their kitchen, so they don't have to worry about running it. So the last meeting I went to on Friday, they were like, "Hey, we can do this. We just have to get the contract together." So I'm just really excited.
I love it. So you met us here on TikTok. You
Yep.
joined our mentorship. 90 days later, you were pitching your business in a small business pitch competition. You walked away second prize, $15,000 richer.
Right.
Now, since winning, you have partnered and by just the grace of God, divine favor and timing, found a
Hmm.
kitchen that you're not going to be putting to use as it was originally planned for the kitchen.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. It's just everything is just divinely timed. So I'm just super excited for the rest of the journey. It's so crazy because when we talk about grants and we start off with like small business, Black women grants, it's so much broader. It goes so much broader than that. It's to the point that they actually want to include me on like huge grants that the city is applying for and stuff like that, so I could potentially like build my own place. So it's just amazing. I thank you so much, girl. That was my last $90 I think I had in time, girl. I ain't had no money after that, but look what God has done. So
What God has done. So, what would you say to someone who is like needing this type of mentorship and guidance and grants are new for them? Kind of started where you were. What would you say before you go?
take the leap of faith. Like, take the leap of faith. If I don't know, I'm not gonna say I'm very spiritual, but I'm spiritual, so I look at it like this: if God gave you something, you follow through with it. Every moment that you stand stagnant, it diverts your path. So I would just say, invest. I didn't have a job at that time. I was out of work for 2 years. I don't know if she gave y'all that information. I was out of work for 2 years, like literally, like pulling my hair out. I scrambled up $90. I think that was the price at the time, and I sowed a seed. Really, you know what I mean? Really, that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, Lord, I'm sowing this seed, and look what He has done. I can only give God the glory, the honor, and the praise for opening these doors and allowing me access to this program. There's a lot of good information in there. If I had any advice for you specifically, just make sure that when you pitch, you tell your story. I think that I would have won first place if I really would have honed in on telling my story. But I didn't because I don't know. I just kind of like roll with it. But I did not focus on telling my story because I didn't want to make me the big picture of everything. But that actually is what's going to get you the money, because the girl that won first place, she is from Malaysia. She's a good friend of mine now. And she told her story, how she moved over here and, she started her life over. And those people ate that up. You know what I mean? So tell your story, make your story good. Make sure you have community involvement in it, because that's what people give grants for. They want to see how you can benefit other people and how they can say, hey, this money. Literally, the CEO of the food bank was like, when you make it big, I want my cut, or I want to be able to say, oh, I helped her do X, Y, and Z. This is what these people are looking for. So ultimately, everything she tell you, she ain't lying. She ain't
Yeah, with such conviction. She,
lying. She ain't
I want to
lying.
say she right, but she ain't lying.
I, I slipped through the crack. I like to say I slipped through the crack, but she ain't lying. And I'm so thankful for you, Dr. AJ. I know I don't come as much as I can because I'm super, super busy, but I appreciate you and your program so much. It's a jewel, and keep going. And girl, I can't wait to shout you out
Yeah.
and send some people your way.
Any other grants in your future? You gonna be pitching any other time soon? Applying for more grants? What's coming up?
So right now I'm kind of like trying to, open my business, but yes, absolutely, definitely gonna be. If I'm not solely on the grant by myself, I'm gonna be collaborating with the food bank and the city with the grant, because technically, once you win a grant, they look at you as like a quote unquote grant writer. So they kind of like appreciate your input and what you can put on the table. Like literally, they look at you like you can offer grant writing services, literally. So definitely going to be collaborating. I'm pretty sure there are some that my business advisors they want me to apply for once my business gets going. But it's crazy because you start off with small Black women grants, but it's like it's so much broader. You know what I mean? You go so much further than that, and with these connections, you meet people that kind of tell you, oh, it's a grant here or it's a grant here. Like the grant word is like so prominent in this process. So I'm just super excited. Definitely collaborating, definitely doing some solo. Just not right now, Tad, but very soon, probably by the
If
end of
you
the
would have
year.
known all this comes into, like, I don't tell y'all everything because I don't want to scare you, but once you get that pinky toe in there, it's over.
Yes.
Like bit by the grant bug, and like you said, it opens up this whole new world with new
Hmm.
opportunities, collaborations, etc. For people who didn't catch it, tell us real quick what you do as far as what you won your grant to help you get started with that 15K.
So, basically, what I'm doing is opening a commercial kitchen. Some people refer to it like a commissary kitchen or like a ghost kitchen. And it's basically to have food entrepreneurs come in and scale their business, whether wherever they are in their process, whether they're already licensed and ready to go and they just need a space, or they got a food truck, they need a prep. Even parking your food truck on the premises, but also for those people who sell plates out of your home and you have aspirations for a restaurant or to sell your food legally. I'm going to take you from cradle to the grave. Even if you decide, hey, I want to go into brick and mortar, I want to hold your hand and walk you through that process. Basically, want to be the food liaison in my area.
I love it. Any
Yeah.
final words? I know you said 7 minutes. We're probably over that, but anything else you want to say? Because we don't get to hear from you.
Yes, yes. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. Like I'm gonna always come up here and preach, first of all.
Word here.
Literally, like I said, I sowed that seed and with Doc AJ, I didn't have a job. I didn't have nothing going on. I didn't even know how I was gonna even make it really. I didn't know where I was going and I just had this idea and the Lord gave it to me and I followed through. Definitely so that seed take as much advice from her as you can. Look at her program, do everything, follow through with everything, watch those videos, and get as much you can get. Because when it's time to pitch, it's time to pitch, and you have to put your big girl drawers on. Take the Lord with you, but put them drawers on and get to it because faith without works is dead. So just make sure you put that energy behind it as well. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, well, check in with us as much as you can. You know, I'm always an email away. If y'all need me, I am here. I'm looking forward to what's coming up next. Send me pictures of the ribbon cuttings and
I
everything. Like, I want to know what that 15K did, baby.
Child. I will. Thank you so much, Dr. AJ. I hope y'all have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
pretty honey bee. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, let's see. There we go. Ah, my heart is so excited. Hi, Vitals and Veins. How are you? We were just talking to Pretty Honey Bee, who won. Let me see. Let me get your dates right, Pretty Honey Bee. I think you joined. I know it was the top of the year. That's all I remember. And I tell y'all to give yourselves 90 days, right, Lorna? Wasn't that great? Her story goes deeper than that, but she said she had 7 minutes, so I didn't want to tie up her time. Last time we talked to one of our grant winners, she was at her doctor's appointment. The doctor came in just as it was getting good, so I've learned to keep it short and sweet. But I love to hear about the wins and what happens as a result. And grants are, like she said, just the first step into the world behind your first win, because they do look at you different. Now you're like a mentor, you're an advisor, you can coach, teach what you know. We have ladies that do that in our mentorship. A lot of people don't want to teach you, which I don't blame them. They're like, listen, I learned from Dr. AJ, just come join her program. And I'll teach you everything I know. So I'm working on a fourth book. I got to do that when I get off here with y'all. But it'll be in our mentorship as well. And so, yeah, we've literally had people who pay for other women to go through our training. So our mentorship is over at blackwomeningrants.com. That's the program Pretty Honeybee is referring to. She said when she met us, she was unemployed for 2 years. She did not have the money, but she found that money. You know, a black woman, when we want something, oh, we gonna make it happen. So she made it happen. She joined us. I tell y'all to give yourselves 90 days to your first win. It could happen quicker. It happened in 30 days for Tamika Barber, who won $1,500 from like the time she found out about a grant to the check being in her mailbox. 30 days. So it depends on how bad you want it. And then opportunities are all around you. I didn't know Pretty Honeybee was getting ready to pitch. All I knew was, here's how to win a pitch. Here's how to fill out a grant application. And that's what it's about. A lot of our ladies win in secret. A lot of us are in stealth mode, and I love it because that's how I operate too. You don't have to announce everything. Just go do your thing. And then when that check is signed and cashed and deposited, amen, yeah, come tell us what's going on. And so I love to hear the wins. We call them drive-by wins. Where y'all find me, I'm still here on Facebook Live and TikTok Live and YouTube Live. And you're like, oh, by the way, here's what I've been up to since winning. And so that's usually how it works. So we're so excited. I talk about Pretty Honeybee so much up in Virginia with her. I call it a co-work commercial kitchen. That's like how I can remember it simply. And just talk about how she went just faith by faith. And she mentioned sowing a seed. So when people say, sowing a seed, or what do they say? I don't know. Oh, I have another coaching company, and people just talk about, well, I'm going to come work with you. But really what you're doing, it ain't about me. You might buy me lunch for that day with a $97 payment. And that depends on if it's just me and which restaurant I go to. My favorite one closed down. I was like, man, that was a good $120 meal. I should have went more often. So anyway, again, you may buy us breakfast, lunch, or dinner for that day. But what's really going on is that you're sowing a seed in learning the skill of creating additional revenue for your business. That's worth sowing into. You're sowing into yourself, into the good grounds, the good soil that is you. Because I'm going to teach you what I know. Now you got to go put it to work. And that's what Pretty Honeybee has done. That's what Ashley, the skincare line owner, has done. Won over 42K. Pretty Honeybee won 15K and climbing. We're going to put that out there. Tay, our swim instructor in New York, has won 35K plus. Deanna Joy, our grant writer, has won over 86K. Raven, our Black woman farmer, won over 100K. It's so many other stories. I try to remember them, y'all. I try to stick with our top 20. We got 18 right now. I told y'all about Peaches, the restaurant owner in Detroit, who won 9,500 recently. And so it is really possible to win this money if you can see that as a part of your business vision. Especially if you have a vision for a business, whether it's to start it or to grow it, and it's going to take money. And you don't want it to have to be your money. You want it to be somebody else's money. That is so possible. I just realized how dark it is. I've been in the dark. It's kind of I think it got darker because it's about to rain. But anyway, so any questions about grants for your business? Let's talk about it. Because when you have the right project, meaning grants aren't necessarily interested in helping you build out a business full-fledged from top to bottom. But if you can come with an idea like Miss Pretty Honeybee did, where she's like, this isn't just about me. This is about my local community and what I want to contribute. And here's how I'm going to be blessed, but also how I'm going to help other people through this opportunity as well. And so you tell the story. It's not necessarily your story. Like Pretty Honeybee said, she didn't tell her story enough in the pitch. You're telling the story of your brand evolving into the community's brand and how you're helping others. You're bringing others with you. That's the story you tell. That's what my book Ask is all about. ASK is our 3-part formula that I teach our mentees over at blackwomenandgrants.com of here's what to say to make sure your business aligns. And then here's the story to tell. And then here's the knowledge that they're going to expect you to have. That's the ASK formula: align, story, and knowledge. And so I share with you guys all about that because it's about your business project. It's about bringing people. It's about creating the partnerships. It's about positioning yourselves, but ultimately what problem that you're helping to solve in your business, with your business, through your business, and for your community. And if you can do all of that, you stand a chance of not only winning a grant, but placing first, placing second, placing third in these small business pitch competitions and walking away with funding for that business project. So grants fund projects. That's how you look at that. They fund community impact. And you do have to tell why you're doing what you're doing, who you're doing it for, why they should care, why they should choose you, how much you need, and what you're going to do with that money. And so that's in a nutshell what grants are. I always love when our grant winners pop on our lives, whether it's on the audio video feature or just here in the comments showing you guys that this is possible and it is real. These are real people winning this money. So you're not just hearing about me and how fabulous I am and all the money that I've won. I'm still winning. I don't talk a whole lot about what I got going on because it's about y'all for me. So when I jump on here to share stories, it's stories of those that I'm helping win, like you just heard with Pretty Honey Bee. Any questions for me while we're on this topic? There is a model to win grants. I call it our $50,000 grant application model. We just kind of went through some of it real quick. Pretty Honey Bee jumped in here, so that was perfect timing to show how this works. So she's won her 15K. Tay has won 35K. Ashley's won 42K. And again, these are all different types of businesses. So it's not specific just to certain business types. It's like, for me, how I teach you guys is all you need is an idea. What is your idea? What are you looking to do? Who are you looking to help? What do you need this grant for? And so if you can tell me that, then we got something to work with when it comes to, y'all, multitasking over here on YouTube. But then it comes to winning your first grant. Does anyone have any questions, any aha? Was Pretty Honey Bee's testimonial and story helpful for you to hear a witness in action, a testimony of a Black woman that's winning money? And those of you who are tapping the screen, I see y'all. Thank y'all for those 2.7K likes. We had one little like, and y'all got to tap it. I appreciate that. Lorna says it was helpful and inspiring. What's something that you're taking away from her story? Lorna says, glad I caught you live today. I'm glad you're here too. I always love seeing the familiar faces. The OGs is what I call you. Y'all come back around. You're learning with us. Many of you are in our mentorship program, and I'll tell y'all about that in just a minute because I have some bonuses for someone who wants to come join us tonight in the mentorship. Not only is there a scholarship to come join us, but also 2 other bonuses I want to tell you about before I go. So, well done. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a whole lot. All right. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Oh, no. Okay. Lorna said, everybody's why is different. That's a good point, Lorna. Yep, especially when it comes to applying for these grants. Everybody's why is absolutely different. Let me get back to YouTube. Hey, YouTube, I see y'all there. You said, but don't ever think that your real story doesn't matter. And it absolutely does. Like I mentioned, if you've been here before, you hear me briefly say how I've won over $1 million in grants and grant funded opportunities. And then I share more stories about my clients who are now winning more than I did starting out. They've won so much as a collective. And that's who I talk about when I'm winning grants, because I win grants for y'all. That's why I can offer the scholarship to come join our mentorship program over at blackwomenandgrants.com. Let me talk about that real quick before I forget. You can get there through our profile here. It's blackwomenandgrants.com. If you're not in our mentorship program yet, it's called the Grant Game Mentorship Program. Let me pull it up real quick and walk you guys through the process. Hold on one second. Facebook, I'm going to end you here because I use my little baby tablet Bapruder, as my little niece used to call computers, to get us over there. So let me pull us up. So the website is www.blackwomenandgrants.com. And let's see if it'll take me directly there. There we go. I always think I have it pulled up, but for some reason, so I have to type it in. So this is what it looks like. Black Women in Grants. And so it may be backwards a little bit, but That's me, and that's Tay. Tay is our swim instructor in New York that has won over $35,000 so far in pitching as well. She's our pitch champ. She's done the most pitches and won the most money from doing several pitches. And so I teach y'all how to pitch your business, what that looks like. Dr. Latrice says, when it's time to pitch, it's time to pitch. Okay. That's what Pretty Honeybee just said. It's real out here. So you want to know what to say when you get up there. So part of our mentorship program shows y'all what that looks like. So here's the Grant Game mentorship program. That's our option here, where you get that same type of mentorship that Peaches did, as well as Tay did, as well as Pretty Honeybee did, as well as Ashley did, and Deanna Joy, and all the ladies who have won recently. And so Grant Prep Academy is our membership program. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one closer, you can choose that option. But the mentorship is what everybody leans towards. If you're like a really good independent studier, it's our independent study course. And so for $197, that's $197, you get 6 months access to our self-paced self-study course. It's a small business grant coaching course, and I have videos. There are all 3 of my books. I'm showing y'all these in the dark, but this is book number 1, teaching you what grants are, what they're not, what to look out for, and then what to look forward to. This is book number 2 here. It's called Black Women in Grants, and it's all about 10 ladies that I took out of the 600 that are in our mentorship, did a case study on them about how they won their grants, the exact steps they took, what they learned from me, and how you can follow in their footsteps as well. And then this is our 3rd book called The Grant Game, because grants are a game. You got to know how to play the game. You got to know the rules, the restrictions, the regulations, and how to repeat the process. Because again, it's not about winning just one time. It's like you're going to get bit by that winning bug. We call that the high of the apply. You're going to want to keep going out and winning over and over. And so that's what I teach you to do in our mentorship program. Now, the bonus that comes with joining our mentorship program during tonight's live is I've been giving away free calls with me to the first person that joins us on our mentorship while I'm live. So I have one spot open tonight. Whoever wants to go grab that. Again, it's $197 to join us for 6 months in the mentorship program. You get a bonus 90-minute call with me where we'll sit and talk about you and your business and all things related to why do you want to win a grant? What do you need the grant for? Who are you helping with the grant? Why should they choose you? How to find grants that you qualify for. And by the way, no grant is finding you in your social media inbox. So if anyone has reached out to you or you've been in conversation with someone here on social media, you're about to get scammed, okay? So be careful. But in the mentorship, I'll walk you through how to watch out for scams. Make sure you don't get caught up, because some people have, knowingly and unknowingly. And they're like, I knew it was too good to be true, because it is. But I teach you the legit side of grants, how to get those grants to come to you. Legit grants that you can win. Right. Block them, delete them, and be careful, because they are watching. Sometimes they join us here on our lives. Sometimes they're in y'all's inbox while I'm literally sitting right here talking to y'all. They're convincing y'all that they're with me. I don't do that. So be careful. But there is a way to get grants to come to you. I send you a list of grants of over $1.2 million in grant funding every month as a part of our mentorship program. So you'll have access to that for as long as you're in the program. And then I give you a list called 13 secret places to find grants. Tay has been doing really well with that. She finds money that no one knows is findable in her city. And she finds it for her state and then for her region. And that's how you do it, using what I teach. So I give you the knowledge. I give you like the tools, the shovels to go dig for gold. And I tell you, I point you in the direction of the gold. Now, how big your chunk is up to how well you dig, okay? So I'm here helping you learn along the way. I make myself available via email if you have questions. And then I'm here with you guys 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, teaching all about grants, answering your questions, coaching, checking in with some of our winners, letting y'all hear their stories and testimonials, etc. So that's all over at blackwomeningrants.com. Again, www.blackwomeningrants.com. That's if you really want to start taking grants seriously, because at some point it goes from you just wondering about grants or being interested to actually taking the steps necessary to start winning this money for that business vision, and then watching things unfold, y'all. That's what's so exciting. Lord, I can't even explain how exciting that is. But anyway, are there any questions? Let me know. Any questions? Y'all talk to me. I'm resetting our calendar for our next live here. And then I am going to answer any questions you guys have, and I'm going to wrap up so that I can go finish up work that I started earlier today. I still got to check my mail if the rain has stopped, because I just got an email that there was a delivery. And I got to go work on my book, which is part of the bonus. That's what I started talking about. Okay, so the first person to join tonight gets the free call with me. That's a $997 value. I charge people for my calls. You're getting it free. If you're the first person to join our mentorship tonight for the $197. So you're already saving $1,000, okay? Number 2, you'll also get a copy of my new book called Ask. It'll be available at the end of this month, August 31st, the last day of the month. It will be available in our mentorship program. And then in April of next year, around my coaching anniversary, I will have been coaching 13 years. We're going to do a celebration event in partnership with Google here in Atlanta. And so you get a front row seat as a bonus if you're the first to join us during the live tonight. Now, the bonuses, the book, the ticket, and the call with me, they're not on our website. So yeah, you can still join the mentorship after the live is no longer live, but the bonuses are not there. They're not a part of the after the live deal, okay? So again, the website is blackwomeningrants.com.